Time to jump back into the AFC West here, the AFC East, I should say, and we are going to break down the New York Football Jets. The Jets were, guys, let's just be flat honest, they were not good last season. They finished the season 2-14. However, they did win the last two of their last three, basically assuring that they are the worst tanking team in all of NFL football. Luke G, I know you do not believe in tanking, but I do believe the New York Jets were tanking all season. And Adam Gase is like, wait a second, my job is on the line. So he went out and beat the Browns and he beat the Rams week 15 and week season last season. So with all that being said, they did get a quarterback in the draft. Torrey, I think they had one of their better drafts in recent memory here, and I think you are kind of on board with that as well. No? Okay. I thought they did. But Luke G, what's the overall record for the New York Football Jets this season?
You know, I got a lot of love for the Jets. I think they did some changes. I got a lot of love for the head coach. But unfortunately, I see this team basically going 7-10. It's rough. I think the way the schedule is set up, them having to go against the Bills, the Patriots, and the Dolphins twice, those are 6 games that they should sweat about. And I don't know if they've done enough to set their quarterback up to succeed. George Fant at right tackle, as a Seahawks fan as well, I never liked him. And he was mad at best. Tevin Coleman, is he gonna stay healthy?
No.
And I see some step back. So I got him at 7-10.
So I mean that is definitely a big improvement from the 2-14 record last season here. I mean that's 5+ wins. So maybe they're making steps in the right direction. But Torrey, where do you have them at this year?
So I have kind of the same numbers as Luke, except they're just in different order, and it's 0-17.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. This I gotta hear. I'll take that though, because Lions fans have been hearing that they're going to be the worst team for 2022.
Right. There's just not a ton of talent on this team, on this roster. The defense is going to instill fear in nobody. As Luke alluded to, they play in a tough division. They are probably going to lose every single division game. They're starting a rookie quarterback who I think will be one of the biggest busts of all time in the NFL draft.
Wow.
So, as I've been saying for the last 3 months, Zach Wilson is trash. I think Zach Wilson will be out of the league in 4 years.
Yeah. Wow. So, Torrey, there are 3 things that are really hard to do in the NFL. One of them is go 17-0. The other one is go 0-17. And the third one is hard to do is win a Super Bowl. And so you are telling me that the Jets are going to do one of those 3 things and go 0-17. I am mind-boggled by that. Wow.
My other one, I had them going 2-15. But when I just redid my predictor thing, and I was like going through them like and I looked, I'm like, holy crap, I have them going 0-17 now. So I got to go because based off the information I currently have, yes.
Wow. So we have 7-10 from Luke G and 0-17 from Torrey. So I guess I got to breathe some logic into this conversation here, and like I'm going to go in 5-12 this season. I think they are going to sneak up on a few teams, i.e. the Patriots, i.e. the Broncos, i.e. possibly the Buffalo Bills. Stay tuned to that. See if they upset the Buffalo Bills. But I had them going 5-12 this season, and I think Zach Wilson is going to basically be hampered by the same issues that Sam Darnold was. Like, I don't think Sam Darnold is a bad quarterback by like any means. It's just the Jets situation is just not very, 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 very good. But you still have professional athletes on the field that have, pride. They're making a lot of money, and they bring in a new coach here, and maybe it will shake the bird cage enough to get them 5 or 6 wins on the season. So I want to go 5-12 here. But Torrey,
can I ask a question though?
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
Yep.
I didn't know that drinking was allowed on the show. Is that cool? Is that a cool thing?
Absolutely. It's actually encouraged.
Cheers.
Okay.
To my Mountain Dew.
Because I'm starting to wonder if Torrey's had too many. It's had too many drinks. 0-17.
This is my Crystal Light.
Really?
So Luke, I know you are a special guest here, but we do have a game here on the show. Every time you talk about your homer team without being solicited, you have to take a drink. So, yeah.
Yeah, I did it once, so I technically I'm only one in, so I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
good. I was just questioning.
But yeah, I'm questioning 0-17 because looking at their schedule,
Right.
they do play the Jaguars, they do play the Eagles, they do play the Texans. I mean, they do play the Patriots. I mean, we all think the Patriots are going to be better, but they still pay. I mean, it is still a division game, right? I mean, Torrey 0-17, man.
They play Houston. They play. I mean,
But the thing is, in the last 10 years, we've had 2 teams do it.
True.
do what?
Go 0-7 or
Go
0-16.
Go winless.
So
on
you had the
season.
Browns
Yeah.
do it, and you had the Lions do it. So
That ain't been 2 years. The Lions ain't been. Oh, you trying to get me drunk? You think you're slick?
No,
in the
he
last,
said the last 10
I said in
years.
the last 10
Oh,
years.
10 years. Well, no,
Yeah,
I don't think. No, I think we passed 10 years. We went 0-16 in 2008.
Yeah. So 15 years.
Well,
15 years.
Yeah, but still, for
yeah.
for it to haven't happened in the league in how long, and it's happened twice now. So, is it really that uncommon, or was it an Jesus, I can't say the anomaly.
Welcome to my world, man. Welcome to my world.
Phenomena.
Yeah. So, Torrey, 0-17. What game do you have circled that they could possibly win? Like, you're like, well, they might beat the Jaguars. Oh, they might beat the Jets. Or
the Jaguars, literally the Jaguars or the Texans. I would think they'd have a better shot to beat the Texans.
Really? Okay. Luke, what game do you have circled on that on the roster?
All right, so simply, I looked at this and I said, this to me, it's about setting statements and getting your team confidence build up. Week 2 at home against New England. If you are a for real team who has turned the corner and you're going to have a shot to do something, you got to come home. You got to beat New England. You just have to. That's the team that's going to be in your way. They're going to cause you problems. And if that game goes in a way where I usually know if they mess around and beat New England, that's a lot of confidence heading into a game against Denver and Tennessee and the Falcons before you get your bye week. So you got to beat that division rival in New England at home. And I honestly, I think they can.
So you are correct on the game, but you are wrong on the week. I actually have that week 7 game circled as because the Jets are coming off their bye and they're going into Foxborough, and I think they can upset the Patriots at home that particular week. Actually, guys, week 5, 7, and 8, I had them going 3-0 in those 3 games, beating the Falcons, beating the Patriots, and beating the Cincinnati Bengals at home. I think those 3 games are kind of that measuring stick for the Jets going forward, because if they can actually go 3-0, I think that gives them confidence going into the Indianapolis game. I think they get thumped by a top 10 quarterback in the league, but they are still going to compete. So
yeah, it's brutal though. Once that bye week happens, it gets terrifying. I mean, Colts, Buffalo,
Miami.
I mean, it gets brutal. I'm looking at it from the standpoint of a team that was just picking 2nd overall. Yep. You're talking about trying to give your quarterback confidence, trying to give your offense confidence. A guy who's going to dive head first into his defense with Robert Saleh, and then you're talking about week 7. If your confidence ain't built up by that point, and now you got to turn around and go on the road against Denver, it can get real suspect real fast. And then you got Tennessee, and you may not even see a win until the Bengals, if that's even possible. Yeah. So New England, I think, it sets the tone.
Wait, don't be taking off the Bengals fan base. We've already done that once.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
They are going to go 17-0.
Yeah,
be careful.
The one guy was like, they're not going any worse than 10-7 this year. We're all like,
I'm sorry, what?
Huh?
So, Torrey, let me ask you this question. Luke G keeps saying something about confidence. Do you think Zach Wilson needs to sit this year so the Jets can just be just as bad and get some top overall picks and they pick up a veteran quarterback or maybe like a Taysom Hill or somebody to basically come in there and take the lumps for Zach Wilson this first year so he can gain some confidence for the Jets?
I would think that would be the smart play to do because, like, right now on the roster, it's Zach Wilson. And tell me if you've heard of either of these guys, James Morgan
I
and
have
Mike
not.
White. I've
I
never heard of either one of those
I've
guys.
heard of a Mike White, but he was a receiver for West Virginia or something like that. No. So actually, Mike White I believe he's from Western Kentucky or Kentucky is some
No,
school in Western
Western
Kentucky,
Kentucky.
and I remember him playing a couple years because I just moved to Southern Indiana, and Cindy asked me if I want to go watch Western Kentucky play. I'm like, yeah, awesome games, let's do it. And when you watch a game and that one guy is just like better than the rest, and you're like, wow, like why is this guy so much better? He kind of just he just has that it factor in college. Now I don't know how that is translating into the NFL by any means because I haven't watched any Jets games at all because I don't want to watching them at all. But he had that it factor in college, and there's a reason why he is in the NFL. I just want to put that out there.
I love the question that you posed though, because it is a confidence builder. But and I'm all for letting the player sit for a year. Um, but they did do a good enough job to get him a receiving core, and he is mobile. And so at this point, it's about, did Robert Saleh put together a good staff that sets up that offense to play to his strengths? I mean, you're talking about a team that got Elijah Moore, Corey Davis, Denzel Memes. So and if they do what I think they're going to do, because one thing I know about Robert Saleh, who comes from understanding how Kyle Shanahan gets things done, they're going to run the ball. So I think he should be good to go. I think he's coming into a better situation than most quarterbacks have come to in the past, where they don't have a lot of pieces. And the weakest side of the ball for me is the right side, but he should be able to survive that.
Okay, so with that being said, who is going to be your team MVP for the New York Jets this season?
So this was one of those ones that I looked at, and I'm gonna give the big fellas some love, but I'm gonna give Mekhi Becton.
Yep,
I love what he
Louisville.
do. I think he's 100% monster, and I think it's going to be hard to unseat him as the MVP. He's literally the guy now responsible for protecting your latest investment at quarterback.
Tori, what about you? MVP.
I'm going with probably one of the best linebackers in the league, Gerard Davis.
Oh, let's talk about it.
I'm just kidding. I said that purely for Luke.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I took every bit of it. I enjoyed all of that.
But I will say I'm going to stick to the defensive side of the ball, and I'm going to go with Vinny Curry. Vinny Curry had a couple of good years with the Philadelphia Eagles. He's still got a couple of good years left in him. And I kind of debated between him and CJ Mosley. But this defense, if they want things to change, it's going to have to start with them because some guys have a different attitude. Those guys have won Super Bowls. They've been to the big games. They've done it. They know how to win. And if you wanna change the attitude of your defense and set that tone, you have two really good guys. And I think Vinny Curry, coming off that edge, is going to be asked to rush a lot more. I think they're going to learn a lot from him and they're going to feed off him a lot more.
Yeah, so I'm going to piggyback off what like Luke said, but I think the right side of the offensive line, George Fant, has to have a great season because if if there is balance on the offensive line, because we know that the left side is probably going to be okay, but if the right side is able to hold their own and give Zach Wilson just 4 seconds to throw the ball, or like even 3 seconds to throw the ball, I think Mims and like Davis and Jameson Crowder will do just fine. So George Fant has to be that X factor for the New York Jets this season for them to succeed, to even get 7 wins and in Luke's eyes and 5 wins and like my eyes. So basically George Fant's going to probably have a bad season because Torrey thinks we're going to go 0-17. That's right.
Yeah.
0 and 17.